Good morning, my name's Ryan Littlestone from forexflow.live. Welcome to the new week, and we're kicking off straight into the EU summit that was bubbling over from the latter part of last week and all the way across the weekend. Now today's video I was hoping to talk about the after reaction to that in the euro, but it's still ongoing. They were supposed to have a summit for 2 days. They went through Saturday and then Sunday, and now they're even going through today. Now, what we know is that really they're circling around the deal, and they're pretty much doing what Europe does best, and that's arguing over small details. It's the ratio between the grants and the loans, where we have this what's been called the frugal four, or the frugal countries, that want to have greater reforms, and they don't want to go too high on a grant basis. They'd rather it be loans so that money gets paid back. Now, the latest this morning is that these frugals won't go higher than 350 billion in grants, and the other countries won't go less than 400 billion in grants. So we're having this argument in between. Now, what we were expecting, or what we were planning for late last week, is that we potentially get a gap open on Sunday because we get an announcement that a deal is done or not done. That hasn't happened because of this continued negotiations. So we've seen the euro this morning. It's better bid. The market is seeing a deal coming, but because it's had time to digest the details, we're not sure how far any announcement that a deal is actually made is going to be for the euro. If it came just on a press conference over the weekend, bang, a deal's done, then we would have expected a gap up Sunday night. But as I say, because the market's had time to now digest all this news, and they're all arguing about these little petty minor points, then the market is sort of factored in the fact that we've got a deal on the cards. It's more likely than not. So that does two things. First of all, it puts a bit of pressure on a no-deal scenario now, because if after all this time, 4 days of talks, 5 days of talks nearly, we don't get a deal, then that's going to hit the euro hard because the market is expecting a deal. On the other side, if we do get that final confirmation of a deal, I'm a bit cautious about how much upside we're going to see in the euro. Now, of course, we look at the charts, and I'm looking at the daily chart today. We've got a big fat line here at 115. A lot of eyes on this line. What we saw last week was a lot of option trading around the summit, people positioning the cheapest way possible for an outcome on the summit. And we've got a hell of a lot of expiries going off at 113.50, 114, 115, 114.50, all the way up and down the ladder. There's billions going off. We've also know that we've got barriers at 115, and they get traded quite often, and they're often a sort of line in the sand and get defended. So the daily chart, I've pretty much marked the fib from the 2017 drop, and I've marked this 115 line, because really it's all about that at the moment. We're either going to get a test and a break, or a test and a hold. For us trading it, it's just one number. One number we can lean against. We can go with shorts with a tight stop. If it holds, if the news is okay and the market doesn't push that level, then that's likely to see a short-term top. Conversely, if we get a break, we can look for a confirmation break of that level, and the euro may run higher. So pretty much, it's as we like to say in Forex, keep it simple, stupid, the KISS method. Today, at least, we've just got one line. One line is 115, and we're either going to break it or we're not. And that's somewhere we can plan our trades against. What happens after, when we hear the news that comes out, the price action will determine what happens at that 115 level. So as I say, pretty much only 3 outcomes that can happen. We hit it and hold, we hit it and break, or we find that the price gets up there and just mooches around and doesn't really do anything. The first two scenarios, we've got some potentially decent trades. The third one makes the waters a bit more muddy, and that's something you then have to sit and watch what happens. So that's it for today. Eyes on the news wires, eyes on the 115 level, and I wish you luck with your trading.